The race for the second division title in the LV County Championship and for the second promotion place is getting more and more tense by the day. That not being helped by events at Canterbury, where third place Kent are just about ahead against leaders Derbyshire. Derbyshire began the second morning on 32 for 1 in reply to Kent's 261, but they soon lost the big wicket of Wes Durston, which left it to Wayne Madsen and Paul Borrington to bat their side into a strong position. This was the opening pair for Derbyshire, only Borrington had to give up his position in this innings after having his nose rearranged in a fielding mishap on the previous day. He and the informed Madsen now had to dig deep on what was possibly viewed by them as one of the biggest days of this and indeed many other seasons. Only 18 runs came in 16 overs in the first hour, although with the ball getting older, Madsen was beginning to find batting a little easier. He completed an excellent hard-working half-century off 104 balls as he tried to lead from the front in what is becoming a real battle to earn a place in the top flight next year. Unless Derbyshire win this match, 4 teams will have a chance for the 2 promotion places going into the last week of the season. And the chances of Derbyshire winning here were diminished either side of lunch as they, from nowhere, lost their way after Borrington was taken by Alex Blake at bat pad off Adam Riley at 89 for 3. 3 runs later, Dan Redfern edged Matt Coles behind to depart for a duck. Then after the break, Ross Whiteley went in similar fashion off the bowling of Mark Davis, who then got the big wicket of Madsen, who played on after making 64 in just a shade over 3 hours. 3 balls later, Davis struck again as David Wainwright edged to Rob Key. That gave Davis his first 5-for as a Kent player. From 89 for 2, Derbyshire had slipped to 112 for 7, and that became 130 for 8 when Tony Palladino, after some resistance, drove Darren Stevens to Blake. So the visitors were 8 down and still 131 runs adrift, but yet again they found fight, grit and determination from their tail enders, led by Tom Poynton and Tim Groenewold. In fact, last month Derbyshire recovered from a spookily similar position to this to win a thriller by just 2 wickets in Derby. And with Poynton nonchalantly clipping Stevens for a 6, there was a chance that history could repeat itself. Indeed, this boundary from the ever-impressive Poynton took this 9th wicket partnership to 50 before tea was taken. But the deficit stood at 80 when the stand was broken by Brendan Nash after the break. In what was his only over, he grabbed a catch to remove Groenewold for 22 with his second ball. Poynton and Mark Turner then nudged their side to 200 for what may yet turn out to be a crucial bonus point. Poynton, on a very valuable 45, was then bowled off his pads by Coles. Davis ended with 5 for 27. So Kent had a first innings lead of 61, a big enough one to make life awkward for their opponents as this game moves on. The most important thing now was for their openers, Key and Sam Northeast, to make the most of that advantage, and they did that by putting on a half-century stand from the top of the order to take that lead into 3 figures. You get the feeling that by the end of this enthralling contest that many who are there will be searching for their missing fingernails, especially as the day ended in dramatic fashion. With the total on 58 and the lead on 119, Durston got a ball to turn sharply to bowl Key for 31. No runs were added in the next 3 overs, and then the night watchman Davis was also beaten by Durston as this pitch started to take some considerable turn. Then, to the last ball of the day, Blake, surrounded by close infielders, nicked Wainwright's arm ball behind to send the Derbyshire players delirious with delight. So we're all set for another very tense day on Thursday. Kent will go again on 59 for 3, having lost 3 wickets for 1 run, but we're still with Northeast there on 26. That gives them a lead of 120 on a pitch which is starting to wear.